Hey, I am here. Linda, welcome. And yes, it's miserably hot in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan as well. Jean Brooks, hi, welcome. And Jane, welcome. We are going to have Diane, good to see you. Brookline, Mass. I hope you guys are maybe a little cooler because you're probably closer to the ocean, hopefully getting some beautiful salt air breeze coming your way. Good morning, Maya, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. Love it. Absolutely love it. Um, yeah, I don't know how all you, I realize in Melbourne it's winter right now. So you may not be having the same problems we're having, Maya. It's just hot and a lot of really bad weather coming. Wish you were in Wyoming, Kathleen. Yes. Diane, not that close. Okay, so you're a little further away.
MW.
I am W. How are you doing? Good to see you. Marcia, too, from Illinois. Good to see you. 2 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's a little chilly, isn't it?
What does that compute to?
It computes to, I believe,
Regular.
0 Celsius is the same as 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Because, or 34 degrees, it would be close. Hi, Orly, Lois. You guys, I'm so happy to see you. Victoria, Australia. Hi, Nancy. Sandy's here too. Okay, well, we're going to get going here. Carrie's in Michigan also. Another Michigander. Love seeing Michiganders.
Sugarland, Texas.
Well, Sugarland, Texas.
New Hampshire.
Okay, Sugarland, Texas. I had a cousin who lived there for a short time. Never made it there though. Always thought I'd like to because sugar, me, sugar go hand in hand. Anyway, I digress. Tonight we're doing circles, circles between the lines, simple circles, semicircles. We're doing all of that, but I wanted to bring something in to show you that I really should have done last week, but never, I didn't think about it till it was too late. Okay. Remember last week we worked on clamshells. What I want to show you, and we're going to actually do a clamshell or two today as well. What I wanted to show you is clamshells don't always have to be just plain old arcs. This clamshell piece or sample that I put together here is actually done with the simple hexagons. And I did just a little free motion in here, which is okay, but you don't have to do free motion if you've got the curly cues. They look wonderful in there. You could do a whole lot of different things. But I did echo the simple hexagons, and then I did put something else in there. So this is another example of clamshells, okay? Just in a different format. And this too is another set of clamshells. What I did was, remember our set last week? We had some that were deeper than others. And what I did was I just used the shallow one, the medium one, and then the tall one. So it gave me a really nice looking kind of texture, is what I'm trying to say here. And you know what I did on these? And you're going to really be able to see it on the third one as I bring it up here. I have 2 layers of batting in here. I have a layer of 80/20 poly cotton, and I have a layer of wool. Wool has a beautiful high loft to it. And what's nice about it, if you're making something into a wall hanging as opposed to a quilt, the 2 layers stay really nice and stable when they're being hung up. So here's some more of those clamshells. And what I did here, and I'm going to move you guys away so you can see a little better, okay? What I did here was I took our heart template, put it in the center. This one I just echoed. This is actually one of our snowflake templates. This one is just free motion, and I had to have been very tired when I did it because it's not great. This is just an oval, simple oval. And again, here I used two different sizes. So there's a whole lot you can do with clamshells, and we can cover with that. So I digress. And tonight we are going to do circles, simple circles, easy circles, between the lines circles. Let's start with our simple semicircle template. And I'm doing that one first so that I can get it out of the way, because I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to say see, there we go. Simple semicircle template. Probably not many. Okay. What this has, and this is a low shank template that I have because I have what this machine actually is a high shank, and the low shank works perfectly well with the high shank. I'm going to turn that light off so it's not glaring back at you. Okay, so you've got four different sizes here. You've got the 2 inch here, a 1 inch here, 1.5 inch, and a 1/2 inch. And somebody might say, well, why would I want this as opposed to a complete circle? Well, there's times we don't need to make complete circles. This, if you don't already have the clamshell set, gives you four different sizes of clamshells. Okay. And this is actually exactly what they show on the package here, and it's a very affordable template. That is another thing that I really like about this one. So what I'm going to do here is I just want to draw something out really quick for you, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line on here. Sometimes it's easier for me to describe what I'm doing by simply drawing it out. And I just want you guys to get comfortable with drawing it out. It's really important that you're able to do that. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to look at these lines that look like they're a square going around the template. Let me put the black back because I want you to see these lines. These are the lines I'm talking about. What this is this is the line that you want to line up on your fabric, a seam line or drawn line or stitch line, whatever you're going to use. Okay. Now, also, this is an inside template. And when we say inside template, it's going to mean that you're going to be stitching on the inside of the template as opposed to the outside. This is an outside template. And this one, we stitch on this side of it. Which one is easier? It depends. Some people like the inside, some people like the outside. My personal belief, it's good to know how to do both. Okay. Absolutely good to know how to use both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my 2 inch, and I'm going to line this up right here. I'm going to lift you up because I want you guys to be able to see this well. There we go. Without my big old head in the way, I'm going to line the circle up where I drew the center line. I'm going to use my stitching line disc, start at the center, end at the center. Okay, so that is my 2 inch. So next I'm going to come to my 1.5 inch. And again, I'm lining it up on this horizontal line, making sure my vertical line is lined up. And there's my 1.5 inch. Okay, now I'm going to come around with my 1 inch, and I'm going to again line that up, horizontally and vertically. And we're going to do one more. Okay. But we're not totally done yet because we still have our 1/2 inch. Now, there's a couple things I want you to notice on this. Each time we went down a 1/2 inch, you'll see that our stitching line is right on the inside of the template. Okay, so there we go. There is our 1/2 inch. How can we use this? One of the ways that we can use this, we could come in here and we're going to put our horizontal line on and our stitching line disc, unless of course you're actually using your foot. And now we can come in and replicate that. So what I can do is come right down the line. And there is, oops, there is my simple semicircle template. Now, if you wanted to, we could definitely could make clamshells with this. And let me find, oh, you guys, can you believe this? I only have 18 or 20 spacing gauges, and unfortunately right now, I'm not sure where they all are. So I'm just going to grab one here. Always keep a spare handy, right? So what I'm doing here is I am measuring from the top of this clam, and I want it to be a 1/4 of an inch down and a 1/4 of an inch over. So right here is where we want, right here is where we want our foot to start. And I'm sorry, we're going to come up here. And we're going to come like this. And then again, we can just move our template over. So we want the horizontal line to be lined up on the tip or top of the previous line of stitching. And that is how we're going to do that. I think this would look absolutely darling with our Inktense pencils and draw a rainbow in there for a child's quilt or an adult quilt. Somebody else, everybody likes rainbows, right? Okay. So this is our first one. It is our simple semicircle template. Okay. Definitely a good one to have in your template box. Now let's talk about some of the other circles that we have. We have 2 sets of simple circles. Simple circle set 1. I have a lot of S's today, don't I? We have a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inches. And this is what they look like. They're exactly the same thing as what we have in our starter set, our sampler set, which, by the way, is the set we are going to concentrate on tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock when we do our Wake Up with Kathy, or is it Coffee with Kathy? I don't remember. I think it's Wake Up with Kathy. Hopefully I'll be awake when I do it. Never know. So anyway, the markings on here. That is what's important. And what you're going to see, this is a 2 inch. It's exactly the same template that we have in our sampler set. We have a vertical center, we have a horizontal center. And then we also have two 45-degree lines. Okay. Then what we also have, I need to pull all these out. We have this. And you see how that fits right in there? So with every template, we're really getting two templates. Okay. We're getting this circle template here, and we're getting the inside as well. And with the Simple Circles template set 2, it's exactly the same thing, except we're getting a 2.5, a 3-inch, 3.5, and a 4-inch. Okay, so we can make some circles in all different sizes. What I want to show you before we start on our fabric, I just want to show you the difference in what happens when we have a 2-inch simple circle and we have the cutout, okay? Because it's not going to be the same size. Even though they're cut out to be the same size, it's not. And the reason being is because our 1/4-inch foot comes on the inside of this one and on the outside of this. So let's go ahead. I'm going to line it up. Okay. You know what? Let's stitch it. Instead of lining it up, let's just stitch it. Because I haven't had enough stitching in today anyway. Okay. Here we go.
Linda made a comment.
Linda, I've recently used the 4-inch simple circle to draw on a ceiling tile for my husband to install a light fixture. That's clever. I'm sorry. That is just downright clever. Good for you.
Yankee ingenuity.
Yeah. Not only is it Yankee ingenuity or Southern ingenuity, it can be either. I think that's awesome. We're going to have to get that up on the So Study site that you're using it for electrical purposes. Love it. Absolutely. Okay, so here we've got our 2-inch simple circle. What I was going to do here was just put a quick crosshair in. And remember, these are just samples, guys. These are not anything that I'm going to be using. I just had a ruler, but set it down. Y'all know that I'm blonde and lose things. Hey, we've got Canada in the house. Welcome, Barbara. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Vonnie. Hey, welcome. How are you doing? Are you guys miserable hot down there too? We are actually going to be coming down to see Jeff Dunham in your city Thursday night, I think it is. We're going to do that for Ken's birthday. Am I the perfect wife or what? Okay, so I've got my crosshair and I am going to line my vertical and my horizontal lines up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, oh, Lee, thank you so much. That's nice. I'm not using my Singer 301 tonight. And the reason being is I have my Juki, my big machine. It's the QVP 4000. And the reason that I have it out is because I am working on a full-size quilt and I am free motioning the entire quilt. And this 301, as much as I love how it stitches, it's just not heavy enough. The quilt moves it around. So I need to go to my bigger machine. Okay, so here we go. Remember, Keeping those stitches a little bit smaller on a circle is always a good thing. It's going to make the circle smoother. There's more S words. Oh, goodness. How many of them can we have in one day? And there we go. Just get those out of the way for us. Okay. So there's my 2-inch. So let's take some measurements here. Okay. When I put my ruler on here, the 2-inch simple circle measures from wall to wall 2.5 inches. And the reason being is because our foot comes in a quarter of an inch on each side. So what we end up with right here is a perfect 2-inch circle. Love that. That is that math of it. I know not everybody likes math. I personally love mathing, but not everybody does. So now what I've got is I actually have the inner cutout, which is 2 inches. And I can, oh no, it's 2.5 inches. I'm sorry, 2.5 inches. Okay. So can anybody tell me what they think this circle is going to stitch out to be? There may be a prize in there for you. Hi, Regina, my friend. How are you? Melanie Davis is here too. Linda Vance and Nancy Blocker. You guys are awesome. You know what? M.W. Wagner, Lee, Evelyn, you guys all are too smart, okay? You all know exactly how big it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I don't need to turn that light on, do I? You guys could see this really well tonight. Okay, down the foot goes, up the thread comes. It's kind of weird for me to be using buttons to do this because I normally don't with my Singer 301. Okay, one thing, what's missing from this? Marsha got it, Jan got it, Lorna got it. You guys, yeah. Bonnie, you're right. Peanuts, my favorite.
Yeah, I said Bubba. Bubba's just like a folk hero.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I wonder about my husband. Okay, so anybody come up with what's missing here? Stable tape, Regina. Melanie, yep. Leela, you've all got it. You guys have it. Even though it's a rather small template, I still want stable tape on it. And I'm going to put that stable tape basically where I think I'm going to hold it. So I'm going to push that down a little bit. Remember, when we're lining things up, you don't want to be sitting way back from your machine. And this is the reason why. When I sit back right now, my crosshair line on my template is right here. The line on my fabric is here. It's a good 1/8 of an inch away. But if I come up and look basically over the top of the template or close to the top, they're lined up perfectly. So that's, I know in the beginning, I used to get messed up with that a lot. It took some, actually what it took me listening to Kate Quinn talking about her Fitbit moments. And what Kate did was she called it a Fitbit moment when she had to get up and look to make sure everything was lined up perfectly. So that's how I remember it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to move my hand in the back. There we go. Going to let go of that thread now.
Jan, Grady had a question.
Okay.
Is there a pinhole in the cut circles.
Jan asked if we have a pinhole in the circle that is cut out. The answer to that is no. However, I think that's a great idea myself. I will have to bring that to the powers who be, and maybe we can start doing that. To be able to put it on a pin would make it so much nicer. Okay, so there we go. I used the same size template, and I ended up with, I got to get these buttons in order here or my machine will yell at me. So here we used a 2-inch simple circle. Here we used a 2-inch simple circle. The difference. This is an inside and this is the outside right here. So we end up with 2 inches and 3 inches. Now, some people may say, there's not an inch between here. Well, yes and no. Okay. This is, let me see, I got to get on some good numbers here. So what I've got, 1, 2, 3 inches. From here to here is a half an inch. From here to here is a half an inch. That makes up the whole inch difference. And that can kind of get a little, that got foggy in my brain too. I'm thinking if it's going to be an inch, it has to be an inch on both sides, but it's the total that we have to look at, not just what's on one side or what's on the other. So I hope that helps. But isn't that cute? I love it. And you could really do some awesome, awesome things with that. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to bring out some more of my simple circles because I want to show you an idea that I had. And we all know my dad used to cringe when I tell him I had a scathingly brilliant idea. Now Ken does. But I want to show you an idea that I had for a border with the circles, a border treatment. Okay, need to get my stable tape on here. My goodness, I thought I'd used all of these before. Just a quick reminder, if you've got dots, they're so much easier. They really are. I just am going to use this up first. Okay. I want it in 4 spots because that's where my hands are going to be. Okay. And if this works in reality as it's working in my head, it's going to be pretty cool, actually. Okay. Now, I could start with the 4-inch and work all the way, but I want you to see how I'm doing this treatment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this side. Because we want to come back. Oh, no, I want to start on this side because we want to come back on this side. And the reason I'm starting here as opposed to starting here, okay, if I start here, I can make one rotation and end up where I started, correct? And then if I want to move my template down, I go down. The problem is now when I do this second rotation here, I have to choose if it's going to be the upside or the downside that I'm going to stitch twice on. Therefore, I will start on this side so that every rotation that I put in will have a double line either on the top or the bottom. Why don't I put them all on one side? That's a really, really great question. I don't know who asked it. Oh, me. Never mind. Hi, Jan. How are you? Great lunch today. Great lunch. Becca, oh, it's good to see you here, even for just a few minutes. Di, hi. Yes, these have a gate and not the thread slot. Yeah. Um, Now, I don't know if there are a few new templates that they have not put the thread slot in because they have found that it is probably better not to. However, I don't think these are one of them. So if you're getting a new set, let me know if you got a thread slot or if you still have the gates. I'd be interested in finding out. Okay, so what I want to do on this, I want to make one complete rotation. And this is my 2-inch simple circle. And like I said, you could start with the 4-inch simple circle for this particular design that I'm going to show you. And I'm thinking I should move this camera a little bit so you can see it better. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. I always want to make sure you guys have the best vantage point. There we go. Okay, so I did that complete circle. I am going to come back now to the area where I'm going to do the next rotation, which is going to be on the right side. And around we go. You'll notice I did move my template. I was a bad girl. I shouldn't have until I finished stitching. I'm going to stop on the line. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. I am going to find my 1.5 inch simple circle, and I'm going to put that on, making sure that I have my staple tape against my fabric, because y'all know that I have a tendency sometimes to not get it there. Okay, the horizontal line is going to line up beautifully, and that's the one we're concerned with. Don't worry about where this vertical line is lining up, okay? So now I'm going to come all the way around, remembering to keep those stitches just a little bit smaller than normal. And we're going to stop at the beginning. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to go to my, wait a second. That was 1.5 inch. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I lost my 1 inch. No worries. Oh, it snuck away from me right there. I knew I had one. I'm going to go ahead and put the 1 inch on next. And again, I'm going to line up that horizontal line right here into here. I'm not at all concerned about that vertical line. Okay. And I'm going to do another rotation. I'm sure you guys probably already figured out just what I'm up to here, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one off, and I'm going to put my 1/2 inch in.
When stitching circles with other designs, do you make all the stitches smaller? Or
Yes.
Or just the ones on the curves? M.W. Wagner.
Okay, MW. The question is, when stitching circles a little smaller, do I stitch the rest of the design smaller to match the stitch length of the circles? And my answer is yes. I always try for consistency. Even if I'm inconsistent, I can be consistently inconsistent and it works out fine. Now I feel like, yeah, okay. Anyway, yes, I like to keep one project. I like to keep all the stitch length the same in one project. That's a great question. Very good question. Okay, so here I've got a 1/2 inch circle. Okay. And now I'm going to take this out. I'm not going to do the 1/4 inch. Okay. I'm chickening out, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that one. Okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put my 2-inch back in, and I am going to line up the horizontal line. Okay. And this time I'm going to come around in a counterclockwise direction because I have my double line up on top. So for this rotation, I want it on the bottom. So here we go. We come all the way around. And yes, that was my templates hitting the table. Yeah, Ken said he's glad it was not a needle hitting the template, and so am I. Okay, so here we go. We're going to stop here. Take this one off. Put our 1.5 inch back on. Now, if you really wanted to, you could put both of these one next to the other, and it could make some really good monster Google eyes.
Mr. Magoo. Huh?
Yeah, Mr. Magoo. Oh, we're showing our age, aren't we? Now, each one of these, after we get that outside circle done, each one of these will only have a single line of stitching all the way around. There we go. Take this off. Now I need, oh, this one. That's the next one. And what if you put them on in the wrong, if I were to put my 1/2 inch on in order, if I were to put them on in a different order, it wouldn't matter. Okay, just so you know, it definitely would not matter.
Are you bugging? You bugging her?
Oh, I got some dogs here who want to play.
Is she bugging you? Huh?
One of them is in a cone, so the other ones take advantage of that.
Is she bugging you?
Uh,
Oh, my poor baby.
so this is my 1
My
inch.
poor baby. Yeah. What are we gonna do with him, huh?
And this is my 1/2 inch. There we go. And again, remember, the only line that we're concerned lining up is that horizontal line. And around we're going to go. And there we go.
How come you got red ears, huh? Casey been looking at you?
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Now that to me is just kind of a fun little way of using all of our circles. You could take your Intex pencils and color them. This also is a great opportunity for templating. Go ahead and get that gorgeous fabric out and do some cutting here. Great TV watching project. So that's just a new border idea I came up with. I wanted to try it out. I'm glad I tried it. I hope you like it. I hope you'll try it. And if you have a bigger spot, just use the bigger templates. That's all. Here we've got 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. And that's going to make a pretty good size. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you, and you're probably going to go, really?
Meanwhile, loves it.
Oh, God.
Elizabeth Gatesman likes it.
And you know what, Barbara, you're right. It is fun. Planets for the little ones quilt. Kathleen, that's absolutely beautiful idea. Bonnie likes the circles. Elizabeth, oh, you guys, I love it.
Oh, Jan O'Grady, you said your sleeve will tack against the fabric? Yes.
Absolutely. Jan O'Grady asked, do I always put my stable tape against the fabric? The answer is yes. If I don't, it's simply by accident that I don't. Now, one of the other things that I'm going to try on you guys tonight, okay? And I want you to know this was untested. it was in my head, but I hadn't gotten it down on fabric yet. Have you ever thought about using simple circles for an all over design? Probably not. And I don't know what brought it to my mind, but I thought to myself, I'll bet we can.
You're going around in circles.
We're going around in circles. Yep, absolutely. So here I'm going to pull out my other set. And again, we have the inside cut from the simple circle. So we actually are getting twice as many templates. Great value, great value. I'm not going to go with these big ones because my spot isn't all that big. Okay, so how would I use simple circles, what size is this, for an all over pattern? Good question. Yeah. This is the one I'm looking for, and it's still in the package. And we're going to go ahead and take that out. I'm just going to remove the tape. There are products out there that will take this tape residue off of your templates. Please do not use rubbing alcohol. You definitely want an acrylic cleaner.
Carla, rushing. Is there a way to get inner circles if you have a set that doesn't come with them?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I would have to ask So Steady
Carla.
or for Carla, who is looking to find if she can get inner circles because hers did not have inner circles. So, one of the ways that you can do that, Carla, is go ahead and email me and I'll pass that question along. Or if you'd like to go directly to the source, it's info. You can email info@sosteady.com. Linda, you have done this. Why does that not surprise me? You just are always ahead of me. I love it. Okay, so here we've got some circles. So what I'm going to do this all over design, and I'm going to do it over here where I've got lots of room. I'm going to start with this circle. And this circle is 3 inches. Okay. Ken said I should start with the 4. And if I had more room, I probably would. Okay, because this is a big circle. It's going to take up a lot of space. Okay, I'm going to put these here so they don't end up on the floor. We're going to show you here. And I'm going to make a rotation. Now, I've just plopped this on my fabric. I've got it in no particular place. Okay. What you may want to do is if this were a seam, you may want to just put the half of a circle in here to get started. I did not draw a seam line in there. I probably should have, but I just was anxious to get going on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to overstitch a little bit, and I'm going to stop right there. Doesn't matter where you go. This is freeform. This is not a pattern that you can go look up and do. This is one thing that is going to come from you. And you know what? That's what makes it so much more special. Okay, now I'm taking the next size down, and it doesn't matter what size you grab next. Okay, so that was a 3 inch. I've got my 2.5 inch here. And what you'll see is I'm just basically sitting it on there.
Add everything.
I can have it here. I can have it here. I choose there. And I'm going to come around. Now, it doesn't matter on this where you have the double line of stitching, okay? So, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I've got my circle stitched. Now, the question I have to ask myself, do I want to stitch it down here or do I want to come over this way with it? And if you're unsure, I've got a way you can tell. Flip a coin. It's heads, so we're going to go back to the right. Okay. That literally sometimes is just how I do things. And I'm not going to go very far on this one. Okay. So now I'm going to take that out. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my itty bitty 1/2 inch one. What you don't want to do is to continually go down in sizes 1/2 inch at a time, because then it's going to look rehearsed. And you don't really want it to be rehearsed. You want it to be very organic. And I'm going to come here and I'm just going to stitch my 1/2 inch circle. Now this one is not encroaching on the 2.5 inch circle. I just kind of stitch it out there. Okay. And then I'm going to come back on let's do a big one. Okay. And there we go. Now what this is going to do is this circle will encroach on 2 circles. It's going to encroach on that 1/2 inch. And it's going to go onto the 2.5 inch, even though I'm doing a 3 inch circle. And what's cool about this is no matter which way you do it, it's right. I'm going to stop right there. There we go. Make sure that your needle is down and your thread or your quilt square is not moving when you go to take the template off. Okay, so we haven't done this one yet, so let's go ahead and just stick this. It's the 1.5 inch. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it encroach on these 2 circles. And around we go. And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to stop right there. Just because that's where I feel like I want to stop. And then I'm going to get a smaller one yet. And I think what I'm going to do is I am just, first off, look at this. Hey, do you guys think I need fresh tape on there? I'm thinking so. Okay, so this one I'm not going to have encroach. It's just going to stay side by side. Linda, is this the way you did your edge to edge with your circles? I'd like to know. Okay, and we're going to take that off.
The hardest thing for me was to have my circles be random. My brain doesn't try random.
Yeah, Linda said the hardest part was doing the random circles. What my suggestion would be, sit them down next to you, just like I've done here. Just flip through them. Don't look at them.
Grab one.
And this is the one that we're going to use next. Okay. Yes, Di, you're absolutely right. Di Werner says you could also throw in some partial circles. And absolutely you can. And let me show you how we would do that right here where we are, okay? I think that's a lovely plan. They don't all have to be, ooh, this is going to be a little on the tricky side because what we have to do is we have to do some traveling here. And now I'm just going to put a partial circle. It looks like it's coming out from behind the other circles. And I'm going to go ahead and right there is my partial circle. But you could do big ones, small ones, you could do them all over. But you see how cool this looks? It's just very random, very organic, and you can do it with all sizes because if you've got a big quilt, you want to be using these larger circles. I mean, look at the size of these guys. We really can go places with these, right? This is the 3.5 inch, and there's my 4 inch. Look at how big that is. My goodness, you can really make something. And the thing with this, it's fast. If you have that project that needs to get done because you need to get it someplace, this is really fast. It also is very modern. So it can go on modern quilts, and you don't have to worry that it's not going to represent the quilt well. I really do think it will. Bonnie likes the idea of partials as well. Ada likes the circles. Oh, wonderful. You need to get the circles. Ada, if you can, get both sets. Simple circles 1, simple circles 2. And it's just worth it because you really end up with 8 templates. Hi, Sarah. And Elizabeth, you're right. Smaller quilts will get done in a flash doing this.
Where is Sarah?
Sarah just said hi, mommy.
On what format?
She's on Facebook.
That's why.
That's why. Yeah, guys, just so you're aware, Ken is is the only one here tonight. So he's more monitoring the YouTube channels more than the Facebooks. So I will go back and I will look at the questions and try and get answers to you guys if we miss them, okay? Carla's doing a baby quilt with bats. Ooh, yes, Carla. You could easily do, yeah, let me show you what you could do with circles. I hope this works. I think it will. Let's try it out. Okay, if you are doing bats, you might want spider webs, right? So what I would do here, I'm going to reach. Okay, what I would do is I would take my 8-point crosshair ruler, or 16 if you want. I think 8-point would give us just as much emphasis. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 8-point crosshair on there. You guys are putting me through my paces tonight. I love this. Okay.
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida.
I'll bet it's a lot nicer there than it is here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to extend these lines. I do need to extend the lines. I'm sorry, guys. I'm making this up as I go along, just quite honestly.
Made a good comment, too.
Yeah, what was that?
She used circles on a large block using different colored threads.
Ooh.
It took longer, but really looked impressive.
I like that plan.
Kathleen wants to know, do you iron away the chalk?
Yes. Yes. And remember this, guys. If there's nothing else, remember this. When you go ahead and put the chalk, and this is the Ultimate Pounce powder that I'm using in here. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you put a layer or 2 of spray starch or best press or something like that, because you want that barrier between the chalk and the quilt top. What will happen is you'll end up with a ghost shadow otherwise. And it's the same for the friction pants. Okay. The friction pants, if you're doing a quilt for competition, it's going to be airmailed someplace. Please don't use friction pants on them because they come back when it's cold. And I know it works because we tried it. And the cargo holds in airplanes are not heated. So I would hate to see you get your quilt all done and ready and get it sent. And then unfortunately, it wouldn't be able to be shown in the competition. Okay, so what I'm doing here is going the wrong way, but that's all right. I'm just going to go ahead and fix that right now. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's the direction I wanted to go in. And I'm just going to come around. I just simply put a 1-inch mark 1 inch away from the center. And I'm using my circles here. And I am making a spider.
What is that chalk pen you're using?
This, okay, Ken asked what this.
Julie asked.
Julie is here. Oh, hi, Julia. What this is it's a clover, and these work really well because of this tip. This tip has a little metal serrated rolling circle in there, and it fits beautiful inside of our crosshair rulers. Okay, so we can easily get markings done. You can see how often I use it because mine gets pretty chewed up and eaten up because I do use it a lot. Okay. What you want to do when you purchase this clover pen or this marker, go home, open up the pen, dump the contents out. And then you want to use the pounce powder. And there's a white pounce powder, they call it the ultimate, and that is the one that will go away with heat. The other ones do not. Okay, they need to be washed away. Now, if you do get what I call ghost shadowing, and it happens with this, it happens with the friction markers, with the friction gel pens, they all go away when they're washed. Okay. Most of us, I think most of us make quilts to be used and not to be shown. If I were making a show quilt, I would not use these markers. I would use some kind of a wash away or something that I would have to use an eraser to get rid of. Does that help, Julie?
Repeat the dump out part.
Repeat the dump out. Okay, you go home. This just unscrews. Whoops, I was out of this unscrews. And there's the powder inside. Okay, now one other thing you want to be careful of. Make sure there's no police around while you're doing this. And whatever you do, don't brush your fingers near your nose. Okay? Somebody may get the wrong idea. And what else happens? You can see right there. That happens too. Okay, so use a newspaper, paper towel, or something. It's a lot cleaner, trust me. Hopefully that answers those questions. MW, yeah, variegated thread is perfect. Is that Pounce Powder by Clancy? No, it's Hancey, Hancey, Hancey. They are the ones who do these, what's the word? Stencils, Hancey Creations, out of California, I believe. Okay, so here we go. I got one way out of where I wanted it. I don't know how I did that. but we're just going to kind of bring it back. And there we go. And then we're going to go ahead and then I'm just going to come down a little way, and I'm going to put a little larger circle in there. I'll do this. This is our 1.5 inch. The one that I just did was a 1 inch. Yep. And you know what? You don't even need to have that in there at this time. So I'm going to come here and just come back and go from line to line. And I'll do 3 here, and then we'll do, because we're running really short on time, guys. I hate that this gets, our time feels like it's so limited. Okay, so now up we're going to go. Next one, this is the 1.5. So the next one I'm going to take is going to be our 2 inch. I just need to find it in here. Ooh, cool. Right off the bat.
You made a mess.
I made a mess, that's right. Oh, that's okay. I clean up after myself, unlike other people. Not my husband though. He's awesome. He's very good. He cleans up. I'm talking the kids when we had kids at home. Sarah, don't you dare try and argue with me on that one, okay? Okay, so here we go. We're going to go one more time here, and then we're going to take this out and look at it, because I do still want to show you the between the lines circles. I think you should see those. So you see how you can get a little spider web out of the simple circles. And it's really not difficult to do. Oh, okay. Yes, it is. Joyce, don't worry. Yes, we are recorded. Okay, so you'll be able to see it over again. You can either go to the So Steady YouTube channel, or you can go to 906 Quilting Services YouTube channel, and they will be on there. Follow the tip of the clover with the metal. You know, you're absolutely right. Peggy says you can follow the tip of the clover pen with a metal nail file to get it to slide better in the slots for the crosshair rulers. Peggy, that's a great tip. I really appreciate that. Awesome. Okay, so now we've got, hey, okay, there's all my circles. It's going to take me a while just to get those cleaned up tonight, I think. Okay, so let's talk about our last set of circles here. These are between the lines circles. It's a set of 5 templates. These go from 1/4 inch to 2 inches. So that's basically the same as the simple circle set 1. Okay. What is the difference though? Because there is one. What the difference is the way that these circles are marked. And I'm going to take them out here and show you. Now, you can probably tell from all of this, I use these quite often, okay? I really love these templates. So let's take a look at what makes them special, okay? Ada, thank you. I'm glad you like that. Carla from Oklahoma, hi. Welcome. Oh, you know what? You're right. Klingon princess. Klingon princess. Right? Okay. So I digress. BTL, between the lines, circles. This is 1/4 inch. This set does not come with the cutouts. Okay. just so you're aware. But what it does come with is all of these beautiful horizontal lines, which make placement really, really easy if you want to do like coming down a flight of stairs, so to speak. And it makes it very easy to move from one area to another with all of these beautiful horizontal lines. The vertical center line is still there and will always be there. Here is the horizontal center line. And these lines are all a quarter of an inch apart on this particular template. If you're ever in doubt, take your ruler, lay your ruler right under the template, and it will tell you what your measurements are. Okay? So next we've got our 1/2 inch. I'm going to take some of these stickers off of this 1/2 inch one because it has a different marking that the 1/4 inch doesn't have. And what it is this little half moon shape right here. What that is after you stitch here, okay, and you move your template over, this will line up perfectly with the rotation that you just finished stitching. And that way you will keep all of your circles in a very nice, neat, straight line. And that's what all of these are for. We also have a 1 inch. And again, here is that echo or that line, etched line, I'm sorry, so that you can see that you're properly lined up before moving on. Now this one has a little bit of different marking because what you'll see here is the horizontal center, the vertical center, and you're actually a 1/4 of an inch above and below. Well, the reason being is this is a 1/2 inch circle. So it's going to go a 1/4 of an inch above and a 1/4 of an inch below the halfway horizontal mark. This, however, being a 1 inch, here is our vertical center, here is our horizontal center. What you're going to notice is from top to center is a 1/2 an inch, and from center to bottom is a 1/2 an inch. So as we get bigger, these lines also correspond with our circles to keep us on the straight and narrow. Yeah, I didn't just think of that. Okay. This one is a mess. Don't ask me why. I don't know what I did with it. But again, and this looks horrible. I'm sorry, guys. This is again has the same markings as the rest of them. And that
question from
Jan has a question.
How much cinnamon in the powder for light fabrics?
Oh, Jan, that's a great question. You want it to look like cinnamon and sugar that you sprinkle onto your toast.
Flavoring?
Don't eat it, Ken. No. Ken's hoping it's something he can eat here. No, yeah, that's the way I like to do it, is just to make it look like what you would put on your toast. And to me, that's like 50-50, you know. Kathleen, Linda is saying hi to Kathleen from Murray, Kentucky. Oh my gosh. Pamela, upstate New York. I love upstate New York. I absolutely do. Finger Lakes region. Went there several times to visit family. Fell in love with the place. Okay, so here again, we've got our etched line on the side, our vertical and our horizontal center. So this is what the between the lines circle set looks like. And yours won't come with a really grody looking one like I've got here. I don't know what I did. I think because this is one of the first sets. I don't know if I tried to use rubbing alcohol to clean it or something, but it's still usable. And that's what's important. So tonight we talked about doing a circle border or putting them together and doing googly eyes, right, Janice? You picked up on the googly eyes really quick. I saw that. An all over design.
What do you suggest for cleaning templates?
Oh, that's a good question. Hang on, I'll show you.
That's Carla.
Carla. Oh, maybe I won't. Where is my cleaner? Oh, that's not my phone. You know what? I've got to find my cleaner. Yep. You know, you should never put things away because then when you do, you can't find them when you want them. Carla, I will look for the cleaner and I will have it next week, okay? If I can find it tonight, I'll have it tomorrow morning as well. But I am going to make a note. Cleaner. Because otherwise I'll forget. Okay. Jan was talking about, was it Jan O'Grady was talking about senior moment? I'm right there with you, Jan. Definitely. Yeah, it's a nice cleaner too. I just don't know right now where I put it. Um, yeah, you're exactly right. It's just an acrylic cleaner, yes. A lot of products are not made to be. Can you use the table cleaner? Yeah, absolutely, because these tables are acrylic as well. So you definitely want to keep. You don't want to use Windex. You don't want to use anything with ammonia. You don't want to use rubbing alcohol, because they can cloud it up and not look really nice after it's done. What to okay? What at remove Sharpie marks? A piece of paper when you're using Sharpies. Can you use glue gun? Ada, I do not know if you can use glue gun or not. If glue gun says it's safe for acrylic, absolutely. It has to say it's safe um, for acrylic. And Linda Vance, you're absolutely right. Definitely know it's in a safe place. I'll never find it again, but you're right. It is in a safe place. Oh, so right here we learned the difference between using the inside of the template or the cutout. We also learned to be very careful with our Ultimate Pounce powder so it doesn't look like we're doing something we shouldn't be. You know what? You're right. That is a perfect bat right there. I love it. Oh, you guys, honestly, I could stay here for hours and just chat with you and show you different things. And Gugan worked for you, Regina. Good, good. So Regina said she's used Gugan and it worked well for her. So I guess Gugan is a good thing. Okay, Ken just gave me next week's. Oh, you guys, this is an awesome one. Background fills. We're going to have some fun with background fills. I'm going to look and see if there's any more questions here. And if not, don't forget we're going to meet here next week. Same time, same place, same goofy people. I used Goog on the Dawn and Dawn dish soap to wash it off. Yeah, Dawn dish soap is good for so many things. It really is. So, if we don't have any more questions, thank you, MW. Pamela, thank you. We'll go ahead and Lee, thank you. You know what? It's wonderful for me. I absolutely love spending my time with you guys. I really, really do. And if you're around tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and that would be 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And the nice thing about it is it's 4 p.m. over in the United Kingdom, so we get our friends over there to be able to come in as well. So thank you again for being here. Don't forget, leave those comments on the instructor page on sewcity.com. And you can always get a hold of me. And until next week or tomorrow, let's quilt.